Okay, so here we are, chapter 6, Think and Grow Rich, Action Guide, homework, courtesy of C. Stacy Sunday, Think and Grow Rich of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Organized planning, the sixth step toward riches. You have learned that everything humankind creates or acquires, let me back up, the crystallization of desire into action. You have learned that everything humankind creates or acquires begins in the form of desire. That desire is taken on the first lap of its journey from the abstract to the concrete into the workshop of the imagination, where plans for its transition are created and organized. In chapter 1, you were instructed to take 6 definite practical steps as your first move in translating the desire for money into its monetary equivalent. One of these steps is the formation of a definite practical plan or plans through which this transformation may be made, including forming a mastermind group. The following are 4 steps to build practical plans. Number 1, ally yourself with a group of as many people as you may need for the creation and carrying out of your plan or plans for the accumulation of money, making use of the mastermind principle described in a later chapter. Compliance with this instruction is absolutely essential. Do not neglect it. Before forming your mastermind alliance, decide what advantages and benefits you may offer the individual members of your group in return for their cooperation. No one will work indefinitely without some form of compensation. No intelligent person will either request or expect another to work without adequate compensation, although this may not always be in the form of money. Arrange to meet with the members of your mastermind group at least twice a week, more often if possible, until you have jointly perfected the necessary plan or plans for the accumulation of money. Maintain perfect harmony between yourself and every member of your mastermind group. If you fail to carry out this instruction to the letter, you may meet with failure. The mastermind principle cannot obtain where perfect harmony does not prevail. Keep in mind these facts. First, you are engaged in an undertaking of major importance to you. To be sure of success, you must have faultless plans. Second, you must have the advantage of the experience, education, native ability, and imagination of other minds. This is in harmony with the methods followed by every person who has accumulated a great fortune. No individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of a great fortune without the cooperation of other people. Every plan you adopt in your endeavor to accumulate wealth should be the joint creation of yourself and every other member to your mastermind group. You may originate your own plans, either in whole or in part, but ensure that your plans are reviewed and approved by the member of your mastermind alliance. If the first plan you adopt does not work successfully, replace it with a new plan. If this new plan fails to work, replace it in turn with another, and so on until you find a plan that does work. Right here is the point where the majority of people meet with failure. Their lack of persistence to create new plans to take the place of those that fail. No one can accumulate money without practical and workable plans. The most intelligent person living cannot succeed in accumulating money, nor in any other undertaking without practical and workable plans. Keep this fact in mind. When your plans fail, the temporary defeat is not permanent failure. It may only mean that your plans have not been sound. Build other plans and start all over again. Thomas A. Edison failed 10,000 times before he perfected the incandescent electric light bulb. That is, he met with temporary defeat 10,000 times before his efforts were crowned with success. Temporary defeat should mean only one thing: the certain knowledge that there is something wrong with your plan. Millions of people go through life in misery and poverty because they lack a sound plan through which to accumulate happiness and a fortune. Your achievements can be no greater than your plans are sound. Henry Ford accumulated a fortune not because of his superior mind, but because he adopted and followed a sound plan. 1,000 people could be pointed out as having a better education than Ford's, yet those 1,000 live in poverty because they do not possess the right plan for the accumulation of money. Important summary points. If the first plan you adopt does not work successfully, replace it with a new plan. Keep trying and replacing until it works. The most intelligent person living cannot succeed in accumulating money, nor in any other undertaking without practical and workable plans. Millions of people go through life in misery and poverty because they lack a sound plan through which to accumulate a fortune. Your achievements can be no greater than your plans are sound. Now we're ready to take action. There are 10 major causes of failure in leadership. Carefully read the following and then write about experiences of each that have caused you trouble in the past and what you will do to prevent them from being problems in the future. I'm not sure I totally did the homework correctly. Comment below if you agree, disagree, if you like what I did, what have you. Number 1, inability to organize details. Efficient leadership calls for ability to organize and master details. No genuine leader is ever too busy to do anything required in his or her capacity as the leader. Whether a leader or follower, when you admit you are too busy to change a plan or give attention to an emergency, you admit inefficiency. The successful leader must be the master of all details connected with the position. That means, of course, acquiring the habit of relegating details to capable colleagues. So my answer was that I am very detailed and generally quite organized. The greatest challenge I face is finding folks who can step up to the level that can be acceptable to me in the line of work that I do. I often need to go behind people and correct what their work. And that is not efficient, right? I need to find a way to either encourage more qualified candidates or improve my training methods, right? Number 2, unwillingness to render humble service. Truly great leaders are willing, when occasion demands, to perform any sort of labor they would ask someone else to perform. And my answer was that rarely do I avoid a task or project because of arrogance or an air of superiority. However, I am often told to step away from things for my own health or safety or due to physical challenges associated with my condition. It's not the unwillingness to do it, it's the the, the challenge in completing certain types of tasks. Number 3, expectation of pay for what they know instead of what they do with what they know. The world does not pay people for what they know. It pays them for what they do or induce others to do. And this was a long time for me to learn. Knowledge and wisdom do not generate money. Action backed by knowledge and wisdom is the key to making money. Number 4, fear of competition from followers. The leader who fears that one of the followers wants his or her position is practically sure to realize that fear sooner or later. On the other hand, the able leader trains understudies so to delegate tasks. Only in this way may a leader multiply and prepare to be at many places, giving attention to many things at one time. It is an eternal truth that people receive more pay for their ability to get others to perform than they could possibly earn by their own efforts. An efficient leader may, through knowledge of the job and the magnetism of personality, greatly increase the efficiency of others and induce them to render more service and better service than they could render with or without his or her aid. I have no fear of competition. I often give people the tools they need to do so. I actually would like to open a school where I teach people to do the things I do to reach even more people and add value, exponentially greater numbers of people. Please compete with me. I encourage you to compete with me. Number 5, lack of imagination. Without imagination, the leader is incapable of meeting emergencies and creating plans to guide the followers efficiently. My answer was that I spend lots of time envisioning solutions to challenges of all sorts. I wish that I had a whole staff of people to say, hey, I have this idea. Let's execute this idea. This is a great plan. Number 6, selfishness. The leader who claims all the honor for the work of the followers is sure to be met with resentment. The really great leader claims none of the honors. He or she is content to see the honors, when there are any, go to the followers, knowing that most people work harder for commendation and recognition than they will for money alone. And between studying the Orange Revolution in earlier episodes and my love language being words of affirmation, I totally understand how this is true. So you really need to make sure that people know that you love and appreciate and value them, especially those of us who need that reassurance. Number 10, emphasis of title. The competent leader requires no title to gain the respect of followers. The leader who makes too much over a title generally has little else to emphasize. The doors to the office of the real leader are open to all who wish to enter, and his or her working quarters are free from formality or ostentation. Now, you will find when you come into my office that I will have an executive suite that is unwelcome to visitors, but there is a reason for that. It's not because I don't want people in my space, because I have a whole lot of space in which I can serve you and meet with you and meet your needs. However, my executive suite is going to be like where I keep my confidential records, where I keep my client's mail, where I keep my client's personal belongings, right? So I don't want anybody in there. So it's not about keeping a closed door for my followers so much as I will be out in this space working, and I will be keeping my personal and private information personal and private. But my answer here was, except that I want to be named Queen of the World, titles are generally labels that no one really understands anyway. I have spent my entire life as a square peg in a round hole, So what people call me is not nearly as important as their recognition of the value that I bring to their success. That ends our dive of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 6, Organized Planning. I can't wait to hear your feedback in the comments. Peace to your success. Let's go make some money, guys.